Alright, here we go. Next to last week, 52 weeks of gaming, week 51 here. Let's wind it down. Let's send it over and continue doing what we're doing. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah. So this week is the Talos principle, which I don't know who Talos is, but the cover's a robot with a cat, so that might mean something. Who knows? We'll find out, and I will report back on if the cat has anything to do with it, so stay tuned. The Talos Principle is a first-person/third-person puzzle game that is created by Cryo Team and published by Devolver Digital. It was released on Linux, OS X, and Windows in December of 2014, followed in 2015 with PlayStation 4, 2017 for iOS, 2018 for Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch in 2019. There are also VR versions available for the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, which came out in 2017. The game is a puzzle game that follows along a philosophical storyline and different beliefs, named after Talos from the Greek mythology, which was a giant mechanical man who protected Europa and Crete from pirates and invaders. There's a number of different names and religions that are involved in here, talking about different philosophies that are in the game and different beliefs, since you play as a robot with a seemingly human consciousness that appears to evolve as the game goes on, and you talk to the library assistant on trying to go and figure out everything that happened in the world while collecting sigils, which are Tetris-like puzzle pieces that you use to go and unlock different areas, as well as different items to use in other puzzles. I'm going to send it over to Nick with all of that bit of information to talk a bit more about one of his favorite, in quote, genres of games being puzzle games. So take it away, Nick. Okay, so this week was the Talos Principle, which I can safely say the cat wasn't involved at all with it. Nope, it's a puzzle game. Has nothing to do with cats. I was slightly disappointed with that, but yeah. So it's a puzzle game where you have to go around solving all these different puzzles and collecting these different sigils, which look like Tetris pieces. And they go and unlock different things because this overall booming voice called Elohim goes and tells you to. And that's kind of the whole idea, I guess, behind it, is that it's about a simulation. Spoiler. It's not really ever like explicitly stated in the beginning, like, hey, you're inside a simulation. It's more just like, hey, you wake up in this field of these like old ancient like Greek/Roman ruins, and you don't know what you're doing, and then it's like, oh, here, get this jammer. You can stop these energy walls and these mines and these turrets and all these sorts of futuristic things that don't really make sense. But then you go and like complete it, and then it's like, congratulations, you can now play Tetris, and not really play Tetris, more like, again, collect Tetris pieces. But that's kind of what the overall game is about. There's a story in the background with the Milton library assistant and kind of your character who's a robot, because you can kind of tell immediately because you have weird hands. And you can go third person and see that you are indeed a robot, and to go and solve these puzzles and figure out like what makes a human a human. And I think it's an interesting concept that comes into play with a lot of like puzzle games. I want to say that it reminded me a lot of the game reminded me a lot of The Witness, which I played, I want to say, last year. I know I've played it before for 52 weeks, so go check that one out. But it's a similar idea where you're kind of this person or this being that has to go and solve puzzles for reasons to like get off the island or get to a new area. And so in this, it's solving puzzles to basically get out of the simulation that you are in, to go back to the real world, but along the way, you access these terminals, which go and show you different entries to go and show you that something big happened to the real world, and that's kind of why the whole Talos project was being made, with the name being because of Talos, who I guess was this giant mechanical being, and in the game they talk about it, wasn't sure if it was Daedalus or Hephaestus that went and made it, but it's this giant mechanical being that basically had like this mixture flowing through it that would resemble blood. And how does it not know that it is not human and it does not have ideas and thoughts and feelings? And it's really philosophical in its thoughts and what defines a human and what defines a being and what defines consciousness and really, really deep stuff that I always get super confused by, but find it all interesting anyway. And the overall story behind it is very I want to say similar to The Witness in the sense of like you're trying to find out the mystery of what happened and why you're in this area, and you use puzzles to go and solve it. And it's fun. I do go enjoy it. I guess I haven't even brought that part up. It is a fun thing. It is something that it is fun in the sense of it makes you really think on how to go and use the resources that you're given. I'd use those resources to go and figure out how to use jammers properly, and when you get the platforms and the playback and all these other items like the boxes, how do you go and use these resources and things that are in the levels to go and beat the level and beat the puzzle, to get the sigil, to go and get what are 3 different endings in the game. There are 3 different ones. You have these 3 worlds of A, B, and C, which look fantastic, and the soundtrack's great for it, and they look amazing. And so you complete these 3 worlds, and then like you leave the last one, and there's like these doors that are open, and that going through that is one ending. If you climb this tower, which the character goes and says like don't climb the tower, that's the second ending. And throughout the 3 main worlds, there are these stars that you can go and collect. And when you collect all the stars, you unlock these bonus worlds, which then give you bonus sigils to go and unlock a different floor in the tower, which unlocks the 3rd ending. So it's kind of like the bigger ending. But I don't know. I got the ascend the tower and just leave the simulation ending, and I really enjoyed that. And because I knew that there were the other 2, I kind of looked online to be like, okay, what are the big differences? What are people thinking about this? And I thought it was interesting that everyone said that the star ending was not the best one in their opinion. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game. It was something that with all puzzle games I always go and need a bit of help with, just because some of the puzzles are way too confusing for me, and I'm definitely not thinking outside of the box. So yeah, that's what I think. I think it's a fun puzzle game. I think that there's a really cool concept and story to it, and I think it was really well designed. And I hear that they were making a sequel to it, which I don't know the state of that, because last I heard, it was, when I looked it up, it was like a few years ago that they had talked about it. So I don't know how that's going to be, but I would definitely check it out if they do make a sequel, because again, I enjoyed the Talos principle. I think this was a great puzzle game. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So as always, who do you think would want to go and play a game like this? I think anyone who likes puzzle games, or anyone who likes like mysteries, because it kind of is a mystery of like figuring it out, but really it's the people who like puzzle games, because if you don't like puzzle games, you're not going to go and like this type of game. It's not something that's going to be for you. It's not going to be something that you're going to go and enjoy. So if you don't like puzzle games, then Talos Principle is not for you. Maybe you can play it and enjoy it and learn about puzzle games and kind of go into it. And I don't know if I would necessarily, it's a good starting one, but it is a game that makes you think. And since you've beaten it already, do you think you're going to go and keep playing the game again for those other endings, or do you think you're done with the game? As far as playing it again, I don't know, because I got the ending that I liked. As I said, there were the 3 different endings, and I got the ending that I liked. So I don't think I'm going to go and really play through it again, because I mean, I have the save files because they automatically create backups, and that's the whole idea, is you're an AI. So you have like these backups that you can go into, and so I can easily go back and do like the star levels and get the other endings. And I might jump in just to go and get like the basic ending, just because that's super easy to go and do. So that is a possibility, but that's just more for gamer score than anything else. But no, I think I'm done with the game for now. I think I can safely enjoy everything that I did, so there's no reason for me to go and play it anymore. But I think people should still go and check it out, because it is a fun puzzle game at the end of the day.